How about that intro? Welcome to my channel. My name is Captain Crush, and I got a bunch of stuff to cover today. I'm talking conspiracy theories, NBA plays, NFL plays, demons and goblins. Is it a Halloween? No, it's Christmas, and PrizePicks is giving us some crazy goons and goblins to discuss today, and that is what we're gonna do, because somebody's got to make this make sense to the masses, and I will put it on my back, on my shoulders, and get it done. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button if you want to get better at daily fantasy sports. A lot of you guys watch my videos every day. I see the analytics, but you just refuse to subscribe. Smash the subscribe button. I'm talking Hulk smash, my brother in Christ. And ring the bell and turn on notifications so you get that alert every time I drop a video. Today's video is actually kind of early because I got a whole lot to do today. And for those of you that are already subscribed and the faithful, continue to smash that like button like your mama taught you right. So if you're interested in getting some NBA pointers and NFL pointers today, stick around, tune in, and let's get this started. Now, the way I'm going to break this down is first I'm going to go over NBA and then I'm going to go over the NFL. But the first thing that I want to talk about is last night's conspiracy theory. Giannis dropped 64 real points. Remember, right here on this YouTube video, we talked about Giannis, his usage rate, his fantasy point per minute. Take his points, take his fantasy points, cash it all. But Halliburton, 33 PRA at halftime, folks. 20 real points or 19 real points, and he finished with 22 real points, chalking my chalkboard ladder slip. He was the third leg. I thought it was a shoo-in when I saw the halftime. How does he not continue to crush? Well, this is where I almost came on air with a tinfoil hat, my brother. We were up late last night. Last night I did a banger live stream, 9:30 p.m. Central, and we were live all the way to 12:30 midnight. I was teaching, helping, answering questions, going over conspiracy theories. You name it, we were covering it. So I had about 60 of you in there late night. For those of you that attended, I appreciate you guys. That is where you're going to get the best out of your Discord experience. But the conspiracy theory is Giannis was taken off the board around 30 minutes or an hour before tip-off, right? The money line, or the spread I should say, was Pacers plus 6.5. Everybody and their brother was taking Pacers plus 6.5. Why wouldn't you? That was a great bet. Okay, Giannis was taken off 30 to 45 minutes before tip-off, okay? Then the game starts, and we see what happens. Slow start for Hallie, then he picks it up, then he starts crushing. By the halftime, he was on pace to smash everything. 33 fantasy points, 19 or 20 real points, a bunch of assists and rebounds. He was crushing, okay? So was Miles Turner, who ended up covering everything. And Giannis was crushing too. And then, look for second half props. Everybody was on the board except for one man, Giannis Antetokounmpo, the very same man that I told you guys to get on yesterday. Pause. Nope, I hope you rode that train, because cash it all again, baby. But the fact is this, there was no Giannis for second half. Why, oh why? Tighten that tinfoil hat, my brothers in Christ, and let's start to talk about this. The Pacers come out flatter than a McDonald's Coke soda on a Tuesday afternoon. Okay? They don't get it done. The bench comes in. They cut it to within about 8. They hold the starters out until the fourth quarter, 9-minute mark. Then they check in. They literally play for 2 minutes, and then they all get pulled. They run away with it. The Bucks run away with it. They were up by 16 or 18, and the coach just pulled the plug at the 7-minute mark and said, nope, we give up, we surrender. And usually when that happens, it's a blowout scenario, which I don't think it was a big enough differential for them to pull the plug, but that's a whole other ball of wax. But he pulled the plug, and then the bench came in and did the unthinkable. They brought it to within 11. They were coming close to covering that spread, that 6.5. Remember, they only needed to not lose by 6.5. But Milwaukee kept their starters on the court. Yes, they did. After the white flag was raised by the Pacers, they still kept the starters. Giannis still ate. He was crushing. He was going off. He was doing everything. And then they pulled the starters, okay? A little bit like 3 minutes after the Pacers starters got pulled, and then The Pacers bench brought it back within 11, and this is the unthinkable. The Bucks starters suited back up. I'm talking they were already in warm-ups, clothes, full attire, no shoes. They had to literally get Giannis new shoes to get in the court to come back in with 2 minutes left because there was no way they were going to let the Pacers come within 7. That's spread. That's 6.5, okay? I've been doing this a long time. When a coach pulls the plug and pulls his starters with at least 6 or 7 minutes left and it's an 18 to 20 point lead, it doesn't matter if the bench comes in and brings it to within 11. They just let it ride out the outcome because both coaches have an agreement. Hey, you win the game, it's over with. But they brought the starters, Giannis, back in the game to continue crushing, and that's what he did. He ended up getting even more points. But he was not on the second half board for PrizePicks. He's the only man that wasn't on there. Now, if you start to think about this and go down the rabbit hole, it literally messes with your brain, right? Because think about it. He was pulled an hour before tip. Then he wasn't on the board for second half. Then the unthinkable happens and he drops 60 plus after getting pulled and coming back in a blowout. Okay? It just makes it seem like somebody had inside information and they said it doesn't matter what happens tonight. Pacers are not covering. We're going to play Giannis 37 plus minutes. He's going to get 60 plus points. And that's why he didn't come in, because PrizePicks knows all the public money of the average Joe Schmo that comes home from work to watch the game is betting overs. They're betting on the popular names at that, and they didn't want to get beat. That's my theory. It's crazy. I know it's a conspiracy theory. I get all that, but I'm telling you, this is just a brief rundown version. If you start thinking about it, how much money was on that money line? It just gets crazy and it'll really get your brain going. And I'm not one that believes betting outcomes are fixed. If I did honestly believe that in my heart, I wouldn't touch this stuff. But it was very, very crazy what I witnessed last night and just the way everything went down. It could all just be a crazy coincidence. But once you start getting into 5 coincidences, then I start to think plan and no longer coincidence. You dig? But I just had to get that off my chest. That's something that I wanted to give you guys, a little nugget of tidbit of knowledge for you guys to digest. But the fact of the matter is this: Tyrese Halliburton, you sold the bag. The Pacers sold the bag. My Discord, all of us, we had one leg left. Tyrese Halliburton chasing that 25x. And what does he do? He sells the bag. He didn't even try the second half. He had four PRA in the second half. That's unmistakably, undeniably, terribly, and I will not stand for it. Tyrese Halliburton, you didn't respect the coin, and I know some people banned you. I didn't, but I know a lot of people have you banned. So, today is a new day. Yesterday, the YouTube video smashed. Scotty Barnes! What did I tell you about Scotty Barnes? Cash him. Cash Scotty Barnes, baby. But the one miss that we did have, Brandon Ingram, 5.5 assists. Nope, they ruled out Zion, and then Brandon Ingram said, I'm going to score points. He dropped almost 40 real points, smashed his fantasy score, smashed his PRA, smashed everything except his assists because he just decided to eat. Nothing you can do about that. The read was there. It is what it is. We move on. Overall, yesterday, A+ all around. The reads were there, I'm telling you. Let's see if we can pull a rabbit out of our hat tonight and do the hat trick. This will be the 3rd day where we crush. Now, who's the thumbnail, Captain Crush? It's none other than Coby White. Now, here's the deal with Coby White. I, myself, Captain Crush, I've been riding Coby White more than anyone for the past 2 weeks, regardless of Zach LaVine's injury. Even when Zach LaVine was playing, I was still on some Coby White. Pause. Nope, resume, we're good. I've been taking Coby White. I've been touting Coby White. Everybody's been mocking me because I've been calling him Kobe Bryant. And now look, just go look on Twitter. Everybody and their mother and brother and their sister and their daughters and husbands and wives, everybody's talking about Coby White, the man with the afro. Yes, sir. Everybody wants a piece of Coby White. So the end result is this. His lines are inflated out the wazoo. 31.5 or 31 PRA. I'm not buying that line, okay? I think he can soar over it, but I'm just not buying it. Now, my model doesn't seem to like that line either. What my model did like was the lines he posted at last night. 19.5 points, 29.5 PRA. And I posted that in the Discord and we got it in and we got crispy value. But now that a couple hours have passed, you see the Twitter mob has bumped this line because everybody's on it. Look at this, 31 PRA, 5.5 assists. Where's his real points? Where is it? 25.5 PR, 26 PA, 9.5. All these lines are inflated. Do they even 21.5? I got this at 19.5 in a slip. You hate to see it. Now, am I telling you not to take Coby White? No. Does my model like Coby White today? Not to go over these lines. It's gonna be hairy. But the only thing that I'm gonna advocate for you to take for Coby White is gonna be this right here. Fantasy score. Even this, my model has him projected to not cover. He's right around 32 or 33, I think. In fact, I'm going to check that. Okay, no, it has him projected for 34.3. We're good to go on the fantasy score. So that is the only line that I can advise right now. Everything else is a little bit too inflated, but you still have a little bit of value on the fantasy score. I won't be surprised if optimizers like DGF tell you to take under here, but I'm not doing it. Go ahead and roll your dice because we're going to be gambling. We need snake eyes, baby. We need it to come up dubs. Coby White, 34 fantasy points. We need to ride that train one more time, boys. Can we get it one more time? We will find out. And speaking of White and White, the Wagon brothers. This is so fitting right here, bros. This is so fitting. One has an amazing fro and the other guy's bald as night. Look at this. Baldy and fro. Polar opposites, same last name, and they're both wagons. This is called correlation, but not because of basketball. This is called cosmic forces correlation. I just made that up on the fly. But the fact is, the yin and the yang, Derek White, this is the deal. Everybody's on the White brothers today. They're not actually brothers. I'm just calling them that. Everybody's on White and White for good reason. They've been wagging. Look at this. Look, I'm just going to show it to you. Last 5 green beans. All the money in the world is going to be on these two guys today. And for rightful business, rightfully so, I don't hate on it. I can't. But I have Derek White projected for 29 fantasy points. I haven't projected to go under. But I am not coming on here telling you to take under on Derek White today. Absolutely not. I'm not making him a core play. He was a core play the other day. In fact, he was the thumbnail. But today, I'm leaving it up to you, the viewer. You decide if you want to ride that train till you're forced off, or if you think today's the day to hop off. He's going to hit a wall of regression, and he's going to hop off. And that goes for both of these guys, okay? That's going to be up to you. Now, I will give you a couple options here. If you don't want to take White's fantasy score, you can go up here to his points. It was at 15.5. Then they ruled Jaylen Brown is most likely going to play, and now it lowered to 14.5. So if you want to go there instead of the 31 fantasy score, you can. Even his PRA. It's all in play. Again, my model has him projected to not hit any of these, which is why I'm taking an alternate line on Derek White over here on Chalkboard. This is my Chalkboard favorite alternate lines right here. Look at that mug. That's a mug that respects coin right there, buddy. 11.5 points. It's 1.22x. We're paying the juice. Remember, these are alternate lines on Chalkboard, but I like him to get 12 points today. I think he's definitely can get 12 points. It's not a lock, but I think he's way more likely to get 12 points than he is 15. But even then at 14.5, it's still in play. Next, Nikola Jokic. It's been a hot minute since the Joker has put up any type of points, okay? Now, this is why I'm taking Joker. No one's going to stop him tonight in Brooklyn, number one. Number two, with that ejection that he just got, I have a feeling he's going to come out tonight and be in demon mode. So I lowered his line all the way to 23.5 points, and I think he can get 24 points regardless of what happens. I hope he does, but if you don't want to take his points, if you can find his rebounds at 12.5, take it. It's 13 on PrizePicks. I couldn't even flex it down on here. 12.5 rebounds for the Joker is mint chocolate chip ice cream, buddy. And lastly, the pivot off of Coby White. I like Coby White. I already talked about it, but I couldn't get his line to where I wanted it on Chalkboard. I think it was 21.5 points. They don't have fantasy scores here, so I zigged when everyone else is zagging, and I took Pat Williams and lowered it down a smidge to 9.5 points. I have him projected for 10.5, a point differential on my model, so I took him there, and that is a 3-man Chalkboard. Remember, promo code CRUSH gets you the match and gets you 30 free days into my trial. I've been emailing all of you that have been emailing me your promo code, so check your email, jabronis, and let's crush together. And then the sleeper slip for today, a little bit more Coby White. I took his 3.5 3-points made, got him projected for just under 4, and I'm going to roll the dice over here with 3.5 points. Remember, I'm trying to get different from what everyone else is doing, so I'm taking that, and then I'm running it back with Domantas Sabonis, 39.5 PRA. My favorite line for Sabonis is his assists, which is on chalkboard right now at 6.5. I got him projected for 7.75. It's money. It's a solid proposition, but I also like his PRA, so I took this here for 20 to win 52. Again, promo code CRUSH, same deal applies, folks. 100% match up to 500 right now with Sleeper. And on top of that, 30 free days of the Discord. You can't beat it with a stick. So let's clear the board and keep it moving because we got to get through this. We still got NFL to talk about, my brothers in Christ. Next up, Jarrett Allen. Yes, sir. You just made the list. 30.5 fantasy score? Absolutely. Why not? Why not, Jarrett Allen? Why not? I'm telling you right now, this is this thing with these centers, just like Jonas, just like Zubac, when the chains are removed from the gentleman, when the coach says, you know what, I'm taking the restraints off, get out there and cook. This man will cook, okay? No Mobley to get in the way to slow things down, so it's going to be Allen. Last game, no overtime. He played 37 minutes. Now, if you give me Jarrett Allen for 35 to 37 minutes, he's going to go over 30.5 fantasy score. In fact, I looked at all the games that he's gone over in the last 15 where he's played 32 plus minutes, and he had hit every single one. And now, let me bust out my handy dandy notepad. You knew it was coming, folks. I got him crispy. 1.3 fantasy point per minute with a 16% usage rate. 37 minutes in this game last time. Mobley remains out. So here we go. If you take 1.03 and multiply it times 35, he goes over 30.5 fantasy score. We're going to need blocks. We're going to need steals. We're going to need it all. And on top of that, we're going to need a close game. And we're going to need Jarrett Allen to not get lost under the bright lights like he's done many a time. So Jarrett Allen, you just made the list again. Fantasy score number 3. It's going to be Jaylen Williams, one of my favorite NBA players for the OKC Thunder. Just got to watch him live a couple days ago in that very amazing Warriors game, and he put on a performance. It was clutch. Jaylen Williams, more 29 fantasy score. Ever since he came back from that injury, he's been crushing. They're leaning on him. He's a great player. He's one of my favorites. And let's look at the notepad once again for a little bit more. Jaylen Williams, more 29 fantasy points. 0.94 fantasy points per minute. Not that much, but he will play 35 minutes. 21% usage rate. That's a high usage rate considering who's on that team by the name of Shai Alexander, in case you forgot, and he still has a high usage rate. It's pretty much Jaylen and Shai are the two primary ball handlers on that team, okay? That is a fact. Now, that game environment is the best game on the slate. Oklahoma Thunder, Sacramento Kings, both teams play at a fast pace. You hear me talk about pace all the time. What does pace mean? It's the amount of possessions each team plays. It's quantified into a number. So the bigger that number, the faster the pace, the better environment for fantasy scores. And we're getting two of the fastest paced teams playing each other. Pace up spot for both of them. I'm taking Jaylen Williams. If you don't want to take Jaylen Williams, you better have exposure to one of them. That means Giddey, Dort, Shai Alexander, any of those guys. But I just picked Jaylen. I think he has the easiest path to covering today, so that is why Jaylen Williams is on the list. And hopefully he comes out and he crushes. But I want the Jaylen Williams from 2022 back out on the court. Now let's keep our feet firing and see what else we got here for the NBA. I talked about Sabonis. Took his PRA. Now, what did I say? His best proposition is his assists. I have him projected for 7.75, so you can go ahead if you want. If you want to gamble and take the bump. It was at 6.5. Now it's at 7. You do have push equity. He's going to need 8 to beat you, but I highly think it's okay. Look, his PRA is 40 over here. It's 39.5 on Sleeper. You can take his assist here. I wish it was at 6.5. It's 6.5 on chalkboard. All the more reason to get over there and take it, but it's in play. And if you wanted to dabble with his rebounds plus assist, I think it's going to be too high. What is it at? Ooh, 22? That's like Nikola Jokic type levels, but I guess it's in play. You know, I got him projected for almost 14 rebounds, which is insane, but I do have him projected to cover those assists. So I went with the assist. It's dealer's choice. Either one, it's up to you, folks. He is averaging 13 potential assists per game, which is a good thing, okay? In a perfect world, he would dish it to Fox, and Fox would just cook tonight. But I honestly, we'll talk about this in the live stream today. Model has Fox going under, but I don't know if I can take under on Fox's points today because I'll tell you what, I love the game, and I want to stack it just because they did lower Fox. They lowered Fox from 30.5 to 30. I knew that line was too high. I just talked about this in the Discord. I said it was too high. I have him projected for 28 points and under would be the move. But the thing about it is this, it's scary because 14, 29, 34, 30, 26, he is due a monster game, and this could very well be the spot that he puts up a barn burner. But I honestly don't think Fox is going to do it tonight, so I would be taking less on his points more than likely, okay? More than likely. This is not a core play. Sabonis assist, core play. Fox under points, dart throw. Remember to differentiate the two. And the last man that I'm going to talk about for NBA to get your beak wet is going to be the bearded man, James Harden. 12.5 rebounds plus assist. Absolutely, it's in play. Let's go over here to Outlier Bet and see what we can find. All right, so in his last 20, he's hit this 11 of 20 for 55% of the time. But look at this. If you show only home games, he's hit it 70% of the time. 14 of his last 20. That's insane. So I'm going to go ahead. Also, rebounds allowed 16, assist allowed 6. Harden's been playing an elite style lately. It's almost like the beard is back. Dare I say the beard is back? No, I don't think we can say that yet, but he has been cooking. His fantasy score is 100% in play, and as you can see, over 12.5 is minus 130. I have a sneaking suspicion that that line is going to get bumped up. So my friends and brothers in Christ, it's in play. They already bumped his real points. They're probably going to bump that next. But if they do drop a fantasy score for the beard man, you have my blessing to take it. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Plus, we talked about White and White. That's 6 NBA plays. Now clear the board. Get rid of it. It's time to talk about Thursday Night Football on Amazon Prime. Now, I opened my monologue with this, talking about goblins and demons. I wish they named it something else, man. Why does it have to be demons and goblins? You know, Mama, if you're watching this, it's not a demon like that, you know, as far as in the religious sense. It's just a little cartoon demon. Don't worry about it. But the fact of the matter is this. We got, if you take the demon, I hate saying that. It's just not me. But if you take the demon, you get a payout boost. It's their version of Chalkboard's alternate lines and Underdog's red pepper payout boost. So basically, if you take the demons, like let's just say you took these two guys, instead of paying 3x, this would pay you 7.5x. But the reality is, these are insane long shots. That's why you're getting such a good payout boost, okay? So that's how that works, where the inverse is true, where if you take the goblins, or maybe the greens are the demons. I really don't know who's supposed to be the demon and the goblin here. I'm just going to call them green and red. If you take the green in emoji, okay, it's more likely to hit like an alternate line. It pays way less. Look at this abysmal payout. 1.3x for these two if you take it. That's the sacrifice you make, buddy, by getting those good lines. So ideally, they don't have this for NBA yet. It's just on NFL. Ideally, you'd want to mix and match the goblins with the red and the green and see what you would get there. Still 2.5x. I don't know what to make of this. This is going to cause a lot of problems for web developers, myself included. I'm telling you, this is going to be wild. But did I cook up a green and red one for you? You bet your bottom dollar I did. I got you, fam. Let's go bust out that notepad for the last time today. And what do we got here? We got Aiden O'Connell. Demon pass yards 224. I got him projected for 240. Let's go. We're taking it at 224. This is risky business. Tom Cruise implications here. It's going to be a risk. But here's the deal. The Chargers, they're literally giving up the bottom 5 in yards allowed to QBs. They're terrible. Everybody's throwing on them all over the place. And on top of that, they're third to last in yards allowed to wide receivers. So you know I'm getting correlation, and I'm getting it right here. Aiden O'Connell and bang, Devontae Adams. But which prop for Devontae Adams? Well, you could take the little demon there and take the rush reception combo, and if you stack that together, it's 5x. You'd obviously have to add in another leg because you can't take them from the same game. But I ain't going to do that rush reception. I'm going to go over here and maybe play it safe with the 49.5. Or maybe I take the 6 receptions because it gives me the little push equity. But what I do have him projected for, in all honesty, is 77 yards. 77 yards and 6 receptions. So you can come here and you can take this just like this and it'll pay you 3.5x. We're going to add other legs to it. You can throw in the NBA plays we talked about or the other NFL plays that I'm about to talk about. But either of these are in play. You can take the safe one with 49.5 and sacrifice the payout. You can take his receptions where you're going to get push equity. I like that. Let's be real. Aiden O'Connell is not it. He's a dumpster fire. And on top of that, Devontae Adams has been literally playing so bad lately, it'll make your mother weep. But the fact still remains. He has a ceiling of 150 anytime he's on the field. He has insanely high upside for receptions and touchdown equity. He's in play, and I'm going to have to take it. I hate to take it, but I'm doing it. I'm going to trust the model, and hopefully it goes my way. Now, if we're making just an NFL slip, we got to add more to the mix. So who do I got? Well, I got the man Gerald Everett. Absolutely. What do we know about these quarterbacks that come in, Mr. Stick, Easton Stick? Buddy, I hope you aren't a stick in the mud today because I'm going to need you to get me some coin because what do they like to do? They get scared. Crosby's going to be all up in his grill, the you can't see me style John Cena. So he's going to feel pressure. He's going to slide out of that little pocket. Drop back, bang, check down to Gerald Everett, the big man, go up and catch it, bang, 30.5 receiving yards, book it, put it in the slip. If they had his receptions, I'd probably take that, but they don't. So I will be taking Gerald Everett, 30.5 receiving yards, absolutely. And if you really want to get cute and I don't want to add another goblin over here or a demon, whatever it is, you can add it in. And look at that. You can flex a 3-man and get 5x by taking that. That's actually kind of crazy. I don't recommend taking that one. Actually, the best one would be the green little goblin, whatever you want to call him over here. But I'm just going to take the OG line at 30.5. I got him projected for 36. I'm just going to take that. And there's one last one that I'm going to talk about for this game. Actually, two. And that's Austin Eckler, the taco, baby. Got him projected to go over this by a smidge, my brothers in Christ, a smidge. But here's where you can get cute. If you want to gamble on his rush plus reception TDs and you hope that he gets in the goal line, Herbert's not going to siphon it. He's not there. He's out. Keenan Allen's out of the mix. They got to do something. They got to score points. The team is garbage. They've given up, but they still are going to try to score points. So you can take a shot here on Austin Eckler's rush plus receptions TDs or his rush yards or his receiving yards. It's literally dealer's choice. My favorite is probably going to be his rush yards at 48.5 or his receiving yards at 31.5. Either or, that is in the mix, okay? But as you can see here, even with this goblin, PrizePicks is sacrificing us because now we're correlating O'Connell and Adams together, and PrizePicks don't like that. So look at that. They're only giving us they're giving us the standard payouts and even less on a power, even though we have the demon in there because of the Devontae Adams and O'Connell combo. They're starting to get really stingy. Now you see, if I take less on that because it no longer correlates, they're paying me a boost. Miss me with this, PrizePicks. The whole reason we choose you over Sleeper and other sports books is because you give us a static payout. The second you stop doing that, the value goes bang into the toilet. So I'm begging you to ease up on that and just pay us what the normal static payout is of 10x on that. I'm begging you. So these are my 4 favorite for NFL. Remember, you can goblin or demon, whatever you want, mix them up, but those are my 4 plays for NFL. And as always, Dicker the friggin' kicker is in play. If they had a fantasy line for him, I would like it. His kicking points, his field goals made. And on top of that, this might be the best play on the board right here. Cameron Dicker and Daniel Carson, both of these guys are money. Both of these guys could be in a position to score points. Look at the Vikings and Raiders game. It was 0-0 and it ended up being a field goal that won it. I'm telling you guys, primetime games is when you want to attack the field goal combos and the field goal props. Dealer's choice, pick your poison. They don't have them all up yet, but all these kickers and punters are in play. This game could get ugly really quick. I'm telling you right now. So I've said my piece and I'm going to wrap it up with this. Like I said, yesterday we had 2 live streams, one before tip and we had one late at night where we went over a lot of things. I taught people a lot of stuff. We had a great stream. It was very informative. In fact, if you were in that late night stream last night with your boy Crush, go ahead and let me know in the comments below so the people that aren't in this can know that it's actually good and they should get in it. And how do you get in it, you may ask? CaptainCrush.net. I still get messages and emails. Captain, how do I get in your Discord? It's extremely simple. CaptainCrush.net, gold package. Bang. You just go there, buy now, gold package is $24.99. It gives you my model projections every single day for NFL and NBA. It's worth its weight in gold. If we would have just followed the model to a T yesterday, we would have had 3 25x slips. I talked about that in the live stream. It's a fact. You also get my playlist. You get access to the live stream and the community members that I have. There's a bunch of people printing money in esports in there. We got a good thing going, and it's just going to get better the second my website launches. So with all that in mind, folks, I bid you adieu. All my partners' links are in the description. You can get a 30-day free trial. Just send me an email if you sign up. Good luck in all your contests tonight. Every single one of them. NFL, NBA, NHL, you D-gens. I'm begging you for some good luck. And with that in mind, here's the salute. And as always, my brothers in Christ, let's crush.